still have some
Yeah,
more.
go
This
ahead.
is Genesis chapter 3 and 16. No, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed.
Right, so this is enmity between us and Esau. That's why we can never get along. So-called Negro, Latino, and Native American can never get along with the so-called white people. As much as you want to, as much as you hope for it, as much as you fight for it, it will never happen, because the Most High said that we will never get along. All right, we are complete opposites. Esau likes homosexual behavior, Jake doesn't. Jake, the only reason why Jake likes it is because that's all they see. And it's crazy because
they've been Hellenized.
Yeah, they've been Hellenized. And you know what's so crazy about? I was watching Netflix. I was going through Netflix today, and I saw something called Tiger and Bunny. And you know it was a Jake hero, but guess what? He was a transgender, a homosexual hero. Pink hair, pink lipstick, man.
Androgynous being.
That's what they're promoting for Jake. All right? All those little Jakes that look up to superheroes, when they see someone like themselves, they see a homosexual. Oh, for me to be a hero, I have to be homosexual now. This is why we hate Esau.
Right.
Esau loves that. We hate that. All right? Esau wants to do whatever he wants. We want to do whatever the Most High wants. We can never get along, man. Everyone says we're equal or we all should come together, but somebody has to rule everyone coming together.
That's right.
When did everyone come together and everyone made a decision without a consent of a king or somebody in authority? Tell me, everyone's come together to march against the government. What have they done? Nothing. Because guess who's the head? The government.
That's right.
It will never happen, man. It even says in the scriptures that another nation should not be ruling over our nation. We shouldn't be electing another man outside of our nation to control what we do. But look what our people do. They accept anything. A vote for prime minister just came out. Bet you a lot of Jakes went out and voted for people that aren't even of our people, man. And that's a shame. That's a shameful thing.
That's right.
And it says, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Going into the dominion,
Yeah.
right?
Second
Like
Ezra.
what happened in Esau and Jacob.
Yeah.
And then you made a point, right? I'm going to just back you up here.
Right.
It says here in Genesis chapter 25, verse 23, and it says, and the two nations said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people. Actually, no, it starts up, reads up a bit more. This is Genesis 25:21. Right. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Right. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh.
Right. So these babies, imagine a woman having twins, and 2 babies are already fighting within the womb. That's how you know this isn't a thing where it's slave this and they enslaved us and we just born this. This hatred is spiritual. Okay? This is a spiritual. This is a spiritual hatred. That's why it's beyond the flesh. It's beyond the flesh, man. Okay? These babies were at each other's throat before they even had acknowledgement of themselves, man. Continue reading.
All right. And it says, verse 23, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Right, 2 nations are in thy womb. Does that mean there was 1 million people that came out of her and then they got split 50-50? No, these 2 men became progenitors of 2 different nations. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and it says, shall be separate, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And what does separation mean, brothers? Separated. When something is separated, what does that mean? What does it mean? Divided. Like the brother said, divided. They cannot come together. They are separated. All right? Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
So it says, the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Now, just looking at entertainment alone, let's do a comparison. What nation of people is stronger than another nation of people? And remember, we're dealing with two people here. So we're dealing with the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man versus Esau. Now, when you look at entertainment, who's stronger? Who's faster? Who's wiser, man? Who can take more hits? We can, man. Who's been at the bottom and still haven't been eradicated from the planet? Yeah, I bet you right. Us. Look at that. We're in another man's society, who are oppressed us, and Jake is still climbing up on this wicked society, man. Top boxers, music artists, NBA players, NFL. You can go back and forth. The best guitar player, invented of music, us. This is all written in the scriptures, man. And you're breathing and you're looking at it. You're looking at the living waters as you walk around on this planet.
I can back you up with that.
Come on, go ahead.
Jeremiah 51, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
Yeah.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and the Lord of hosts is his name.
We have that sign
Yahushua.
with the inventors.
Yahushua.
Yeah, the inventor says Jake is the former of all things. Now, in history class, we go to education, where you take Esau's education course. He won't teach you about what we invented. They'll tell you about Albert Einstein. Okay. They'll tell you about Albert Einstein and made electricity, and they did all this. But we created the refrigerator, the elevator, the doorknob, that first engine, the fire extinguisher, the missile guided system.
Basically everything.
Basically everything that is needed to exist on this planet, we made. But do we get any type of reward for that? No. Hey, James. Can we get James 5?
Rich man?
They labor counted with no labor. They labor with not accounted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Because Esau doesn't recognize us as giving anything to society. He looks at us like we're lazy. All we do is complain when we go to work. But how would you complain if you go to an office all day and you're on a computer? I wouldn't complain about that. I'm typing and looking at a computer screen for 8 hours of my life. Now let's see Esau go and actually do hard labor, manufacture cars, lift skids up, heavy boxes up.
I got a piece of for you.
Sorry to back you up. I went on a job. I went on a construction job. And the minute Esau showed up and realized he had to get down and dirty and work the friggin' job, the man walked off the job. He didn't have no gloves. He started crying like a bitch and walked off the job. Man, they don't do work. Esau don't do work, bro. They can't do heavy work.
You're absolutely right. I have the same situation happened on Monday. There was a guy, he just came in.
Yes.
He gets hired on without having to go to the agency like me. So, by the end of the day, he got fired, man. This man was like dancing with the broom. He was sweeping and he was like dancing with the broom. The guy who's over me, the general contractor, general manager, he's like, what the? He's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. He got rid of him, man.
Right.
Right. And going back to it, right? Henry Samson, he invented the cell phone. All right. So if you were to calculate everything that we invented as a whole, technically, we all should be rich right now, ruling over these nations.
That's right.
How come that's not so? Because we have an oppressor.
That's right.
That is hiding knowledge. What do they always say? Knowledge is what? Power. When you understand how things work, you can control how people move. The reason why these people are willing to go to work for 8 hours and accept a 2-week pay is because they don't have the knowledge of what it is to actually get paid every day.
That's right.
They don't know what real freedom is. Okay? They accept their captivity as freedom. Because Esau paints their captivity as freedom. But yet they can't cross the border without what? Acknowledgement or authorization from the government. That's not freedom.
That's right.
You can't build a business without authorization from the government. That's not freedom. Okay?
Yeah, who has money? You have $1? You have a $5, $10, $20?
Anyone else?
Yeah, show it to the camera. Show the money to the camera. That's your slavery right there.
That's right.
That's slavery.
A white man.
That
What's his
is-
name?
that's
Johnny
your
McDonald.
Yeah,
Johnny
he's,
McDonald.
he's the number one guy right now.
It doesn't matter
The
who's
ruler's
on it.
slave.
That
Yeah.
piece of paper
Yeah.
Number one
is,
killer
is what
of
enslaves
jigs.
you. That's the piece of paper that makes you think that you're free.
Right.
But it's actually your enslavement without chains, man.
That's right.
From you accepted that, you accepted slavery.
That's right.
And there's no such thing as a rich person in this kingdom. He's a rich slave.
That's right.
That's all
right.
it is. That's all. You have more of that, that means you have more debt.